After the growth stage comes the maturity stage. One day or another, it happens that the pace of growth of the sales, of the demand, starts to reduce. And one day you peak your demand, you reach your top demand. Okay? And maybe for some time the demand will remain at that level. Okay? The product is well known. I mean, all the market knows the product, all your competitor firms know the product, everyone does in fact. The processes, the production processes are now systemic. I mean, you have improved your processes and you have got, normally you are close to have normally the lowest possible production costs. So prices are low and frequently the competition is based on prices. The customer, I told you, knows the product perfectly, so that makes the customer have potentially some bargaining power. Innovation is not frequent in this stage. Obviously, you are not going to innovate in product. The product, I told you, is completely well known. Maybe you can still try to adjust a bit the process, but you are not going to make huge investments in innovation here. So financially, these products are normally profitable, okay? Because you sell some amounts of product and you get some returns and you are not investing important amounts in this kind of products. So, in fact, you have got some profitability, but this profitability in the long run will tend to shrink, okay? Why? Well, the competition is normally going to be fierce. Some companies probably have installed overcapacity, anticipating that the growth was not going to cease, but it has. So they can produce more than they can sell. So they are trying to reduce their prices and so on. So normally you are still profitable, but this profitability will tend to shrink. Okay? Which are the main features of this stage? Well, first of all, the knowledge about the product is widespread. Everyone knows the product. Your customers, your competitors, everyone does, okay? And the competence tends to be fierce. You have got overcapacity, potentially overcapacity. Some international rivals can come to your country. The products, it's really difficult to incorporate something new in the product. Customers have got bargaining power. Let me tell you about an industry which is in this stage, which is construction. Okay, so, construction is not going to grow a lot, okay? It has got some levels each year and so on, some sales and so on, but it's not going to grow and grow. Maybe in some areas, maybe in some countries, here in Spain, clearly not, okay? What can you do in this stage? Well, there are two main possibilities. First of all, you can try to build a solid competitive advantage. Which kind of advantage? Well, maybe you can generate cost leadership if your processes are creating lower costs than your competitors, or if you have got privileged access to resources. Maybe your bet can be on product differentiation if you have got a good reputation. It's possible. Or maybe you can focus. You can focus in some segments which are still growing. For instance, talking about construction, cost leadership. This is about being efficient, clearly. Okay, you can try to, for instance, if you are tremendously big, okay, you can try to get cost leadership based on economies of scale. Product differentiation, if you have got a good brand name, let us say ACS here in Spain, ACS. They have got a good brand name, so they are distinguished from some other companies. And you can focus. Focus on what? For instance, there's still an important place for big infrastructures, especially outside Spain. Not in Spain, we have got more airports than we could desire forever. But there's a place for instance, a high-velocity train in the Arab countries, or enlarging the Panama Channel, or this kind of big constructions, this big civil engineering, which can require additional resources. So it's attractive for this building, for these construction companies. We can also try to redefine the scope of the firm. First of all, if the industry is mature in our country, maybe the industry is not mature in some other countries. We can try to look for these countries where the industry is not mature. Let's talk about our Iberic cured ham. Well, here in Spain, clearly the industry is mature, but not in Japan, but not in the US. So you can try to export. Hmm? Then you can try to diversify. Diversify means looking for new markets to sell new products. You are making money from your current businesses. You can try to invest that money in some other businesses, different ones. What I told you about construction, well, construction, the big construction companies here in Spain have got into, for instance, infrastructure management, such as parkings, such as highways, or this kind of, okay? They also got into hospital management, and they also got into sanitary transportation. So they are investing their money to get into different businesses they consider that can be profitable in the future. And also you can try to carry out external growth. I mean, you can buy or merge some competitors. In order to what? In order to get bigger, in order to reinforce your competitive position. So we get back to the first alternative, solid competitive advantage. In order to empower your competitive advantage, maybe you can try to buy competitors, maybe you can try to merge competitors. So this maturity stage means that your sales remain at a given level. But maybe one day or another your sales will decrease, and this is the origin of the decline stage.